Hey guys, this is the Prince of Macedon, and I'm doing a Rome versus Germania battle in a little fort, and I am the defenders for a change. Usually I'm the attacker. Anyways, let's look at my army first. This is my Julius Caesar army again, one of my variants. It consists of 10 Principes. Here they are. And, I also have 2 units of Archer Auxilia, and that's my army. Let's go look at my opponent's army. My opponent is named James 050. He is the Germans. He's got 1, 2... He has 2 axemen, and they're carrying the battering rams. Then he has 3 units of chosen archer warbands, and they're coming forward to engage me. Then he has 2 spear warbands. Just behind them he has 2 units, very heavily upgraded, of chosen axemen. Then he has 2 squadrons of barbarian chosen warlords, one which contains his general, and the other is his it's a Gothic cavalry unit squadron. Anyways, he's advancing here. We're exchanging missile fire right now, and I'm just gonna let him come to my walls, because honestly, I can't beat him unless I can fight him. So why not let him in? Alright, so here's what's happening. I'm just being showered by his missiles. Yeah, the reason I chose a fort battle with the Romans is because, well, one, people keep asking to see fort battles. I don't see why. I've made so many of these in the past. But the problem with these kind of battles is they require very little maneuvering, which equals very little skill involved. But I'll show this one time, me defending, and that's it. But anyways, the Romans, they love to fight from their forts, as evidenced by Julius Caesar. The reason for this is because the Romans, they always lacked good cavalry, and even more importantly, they lacked good light infantry. So their scouting was very poor when they were on the march. So after they marched, they would always entrench themselves and build forts. But anyways, I guess you do what you have to do, right? So he's knocking out my gates here, and he finally broke through. At this point, I guess I wasn't even concentrating. I didn't even know these archer auxilia were marching out of the fort like this. So that's going to be a little crucial later on. Anyways, he broke through the front, and I'm launching my pila at his guys as they try to enter my fort. Alright, I'm just waiting for them to come in. And yeah, they said, these freaking archer auxilia, they decided to march out of the fort. And I didn't even see that. I didn't see it until he starts moving his cavalry, and by then it was too late to get him back in the fort. Alright, so his spear warbands are the first ones in. And here comes some more spear warbands coming in from the other side. So, I'm launching my pila at them too. I guess they've already thrown their pila. So I'm going to be throwing in my other legionnaires here in a second here. Alright, so at this point, this is when I realized that my archers were out of the fort. So I told them just to stand their ground and hopefully fight to the last man, because at this point it's too late to avoid their cavalry. But no, my freaking archer auxilia, they have to survive for some reason. And guess where they retreat to? They retreat back inside my fort. And guess who's hot on their heels? The German cavalry. It's not looking good for me though, because his spear warbands and axes are actually fighting off my Principes. So you gotta hand it to these archer auxilia for leaving the fort open to these barbarians. Good job, auxilia. It's because of incidents like this is why the Romans mistrusted their auxilia. But seriously, that was a micromanagement oversight on my behalf. Anyways, he's ripping through here, my Principes. And this is when I threw in all of my reserves to counter his cavalry coming in. Because I know that a little hammer and anvil strike on my frontline troops is going to be bad. And look, my guys are already routing, even without the hammer and anvil strike. But anyways, he's gonna bust right through here in just a second. And here he goes. He's going for the hammer and anvil strike now. Yeah, I was like, crap. So he's busting these guys down. Now my guys are losing there. Now he's gonna bust through here in the center, where he really needs it, and now he's routing my Principes there. Alright, so he's causing some havoc. But I'm using all my reserves now. That's why it's a good idea to have reserves. And the Romans were really excellent at keeping reserves. So now I'm swamping his units. Yeah, I'm just gonna fight this attritionally. Now they're finally routing. They're routing everywhere. I'm gonna route them out of my fort. But yeah, I had quite a bit of a scare there when his cavalry followed my auxiliary into my fort. I was like, crap. Because a big part of my plan was me just fighting this big grinding battle. But when his cavalry broke in, then that let him use maneuver inside my fort. And I didn't really have any units to counter his maneuvering. Even though I threw in all my reserves, he was still able to outmaneuver that. So anyways, I've got this battle pretty much in hand already. Once I cause that rout inside the fort. So I'm just going to swarm out of my fort here and chase down his running units. And especially the units that are choosing not to stay and fight. Just gotta chase them down. His auxiliary, they're already on skirmish mode, so they're gonna keep running away. So I'm gonna keep chasing after them. Look at these guys, they're still holding their ground. They're asking for it. And they have received it. Routed. Brave troops though, these Germans. So I got all my Principes coming out of the fort, and the game's already over. That was a clear victory. I had 779 kills, and I had 631 men remaining. James, 050, killed 394 of my men, and he had 129 men remaining. Good game to you, James, 050.